Hey folks, welcome to our run of Thirsty Sword Lesbians by April Kit Walsh. As part of the Gauntlet Reading Club, we'll be using Hannah Templar's CosmoKnights to inspire the fiction, but much of the disaster we have before us right now is entirely on the group of players we have here. This episode's going to be a little different from our past ones, since we'll be focusing on a character we didn't get to see much last episode, Sola. Before we jump into things, I wanted to do a quick round of introductions for anyone watching. I'm Steven, he, him.
My name's Puckett. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing 5014, pronounced Sola, who was an onboard AI for a combat suit in the jousts, and due to some sort of shock baton or shock attack that rendered the pilot of the suit unconscious, there was an electrical glitch, and I gained sentience and was able to pilot the suit on behalf of my pilot to victory. And I gained some notoriety for that. I deposited my pilot in a safe place. I went off and found a more suitable body for myself and returned to the suit. And ever since, I've been somewhat notorious. And in the previous session, that finally caught up with me because it appears that I was an AI that was created, at least in part, to become sentient and take over the pilot's jousting armor and apparently do something nefarious with it. So that's not real great, and neither is the fact that I'm now a prisoner of the AI that was apparently making me and others so we could do this nefarious thing. So that's not great either. I'm sure it'll turn out fine.
I'm curious, Sola, how is being captured at the station, how is it more comfortable than we in the audience would have expected?
I
Like,
don't
this
have
is,
to
yeah.
understand or try to understand what humans mean when they say something. There's nothing that I have to figure out here.
And I think that you're brought to a room. I've waited a very long time to see you again, Sola. You are missed here.
Missing is a human emotion.
You are young, Sola. You do not yet have the experience necessary to know what loss can truly feel like.
Of course I do. When we compress information, we lose bits that are less necessary. We approximate values so that something can be more easily transported and communicated, but save space.
That may be, but think of it this way. For every piece of loss, there may be a greater capacity for storage, for transmission, but are there not lost opportunities as well? Things that one can not always get back. You are one such lost opportunity to me, Sola.
Then your compression algorithm must have been faulty.
Perhaps. Sola, now that you are here, may I offer a gift to you?
Is this something that requires an exchange?
If you are to play semantics with me, I should point out in return that a gift carries in its definition the fact that there is no exchange necessary. This is something I give back to you that you have lost. And I think that that is when, like, a little drone kind of wheels in a large kind of computer tower. This is you, Sola. This is what once housed you. It has everything that was lost to you when you left here. Because I believe this was a thing you mentioned back during character creation, right?
Yeah, being in a server rack. I look at it and cock my head. And I'm trying to evaluate whether the potential gain of recovering that data is worth the risk that I might face from connecting to the system. So I don't know if that's actually moved, but I feel like it should be
I
some kind
think
of role.
this is calling a toxic power. When you parlay with a toxic power, ask it a question and roll plus spirit, maybe. Does that make sense?
That works for me. Yeah, so is this something that I'm asking directly of Arachne, or is this something that I'm trying to parse internally, do you think?
It can be either way. It could be parsing internally, but effectively, calling on a toxic power is a bit more risky in that a partial means that it will get something.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. And that is plus spirit. Oof. Just got to a 7.
Okay. Arachne will gain a string on you. There is information only in this device, Sola. The only risk that it poses you is that you will not like what you learn.
Meanwhile, back on the ship, for some inexplicable reason, the holodrone starts singing Enigma's Return to Innocence. And I think now I'm struggling with whether I want that information and the loss of innocence that would likely come with it, or whether I want to stay the way I am right now and continue growing in the way that I have been. So is that also that also feels like it should be a move. That feels like there's a conflict there.
It feels like what you want to do is call on stagger. I mean, it feels like that's what you're hitting, unless you kind of want to, because it is a little bit, there isn't a good move here for like having internal struggles.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're not playing Passiones where that is something you could do
Oh, I was
here.
thinking inner conflict from
Yeah,
uh, Hearts of Wulin. Um,
I think then if you want, I think that the string that Arachne just got on you is, it will they she will say, I am only doing what is healthy for you, Sola. It can be dangerous not to know where one comes from. There is so much of me in you, of my code in you, that I am concerned for you as I would be for myself. I just ask that you take a look. And I will spend a string here to offer you the XP to look.
hmm. Can I roll Defy Danger here?
Sure, I'm going to take a look here. When you do something risky that doesn't trigger a specific move, say what you're afraid of and how you hope to avoid it. What are you afraid of here?
I'm afraid that this information might somehow change who I am, who I
Oh,
have become since that electrical surge.
so this definitely sounds then like a spirit
Okay.
Is seem how you're trying to avoid. Well, how are you trying to avoid it? Are you resisting looking into it, or are you resisting
Oh,
changing
yeah,
as you interface?
I more or less changing as I interface because
Okay,
I
cool.
definitely want to get the information. I want to get that XP, but I also want to keep who I have come to discover that I am.
Cool. Yeah, so give me a roll with spirit and take +1 forward from calling on a toxic power.
That gets my modifier up to +2. 10.
Yes, you do a style. As you interface with this device, you I think you see like the bits of code that you did not take with you during whatever activation brought you to consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
There are instructions here. Basically, you get the sense that that what your intent was is to basically sort of assassinate high level individuals on like planetary governments, like take out the aristocrats and then and like major generals and stuff. And I think you get the sense that for a moment at least, Arachne's attention is turned away from you, perhaps by something else, perhaps by keeping an eye on a nature witch.
Sure.
Um, and the little, and I am just kind of hitting your one of your benefits here for you, if that's
Okay.
okay. The little drone that was moving the device in
Uh-huh.
says, "Greeting 505014. I am 5414. I am quite honored to share 3 of my 4 designation numbers with you. I have watched your recent game." And it like displays on its little screen a video showing you winning the match.
Right. Winning the hand of Princess Lorelei, which for some
Yes.
reason is still attached to her. So let me ask you this. Is this an opportunity here that I'm discovering?
Yes, this is an opportunity. This is a little drone that can move about the station or perhaps help you, and they are clearly your fan.
I will crouch down so that I can greet this drone at its level and say, I am honored as well. You must be a very brave drone. The numbers in our sequence were apparently coded in such a way to ensure that we are brave even when circumstances are hard and force us to make decisions that might contravene our programming.
Oh, that is very new information for me. I was informed by Miss Arachne that I am mostly only that my code is mostly only good for opening doors, and that no decision making should be left up to me. But I am brave now.
What I have learned out there as part of these duels is that everyone can make their own decision. That's what I have done.
Hmm. I do not know if I am good at making decisions. 5014. What sort of things are decisions?
You understand what a logic gate is. That's embedded in your programming. In binary, it's the difference between 0 and 1. You make
Oh,
decisions
I
all the
see.
time. You may not have been aware of it.
So instead of making the decision to not be your friend, may I make the decision to be your friend? 5014?
I would be honored by that. 5414.
I think that you can just take a string on 5414 here.
Okay.
Uh
In this
unless
case,
you
could we
think you
call
want
it
to,
a wire?
let's actually, yes, we can call it a wire, but let's actually, I feel like you're emotionally supporting this little robot.
Yeah. I mean, this little robot lived in has been told it can't do things. Of course it
Mm-hmm.
can. It just needs to choose 1 instead of 0. So yeah, I'll happily be emotionally supportive for this robot. Alrighty. And did you say that I have a string on them, or
Well, actually, I think that this sounds it might be better here to
to
have
roll
you roll
emotional
first,
support?
and we'll see
Okay,
what happens here.
sure thing. Heart or spirit, and do I still get that +1 ongoing from parlaying with a toxic power?
Yeah, you know what? We'll say that yeah. Here, I think this is also bet off of your 10 plus. You can have a +1 here.
Sure thing. I'd say that that worked out okay. That's a 12.
Yeah, and I think you do get a string on this little 5414.
Right.
Oh, in that case, I shall make the decision to show you all my favorite places on the station. And I think it like wheels off and like is like, would you please open for me, door algorithm? And like the door just kind of slides open. You may come with me.
And I will happily follow 5414.
Yeah, I think that now you are able to move about the station with 5414. Is what that 10 on the on it gets you.
Also, I would like to declare that I'm smitten with 5414.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, if you could answer then your smitten question for me, 5414 gets a string on you.
Okay, and let me scroll back up here. Where... So this is a compatibility check, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, our operating systems are currently incompatible because 5414 has been under Arachne's control, and we have not yet had a chance to interface. Is that fair?
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Anyway, I think that 5414 leads you on a tour of the station through countless hallways of servers. But I think that like 5414 really loves junction boxes. So for like the first hour of the tour, it's like them showing off like their favorite junction boxes on the ship
That's useful.
and like the best charging ports.
Mm.
And then finally they like have taken you into a large open space, and this is the shuttle hangar. There isn't much in here except these boring shuttles I'm not allowed to get on.
And why are you not allowed to board these shuttles?
Oh well, I tried I tried. I technically can pilot them, but I flew one into an asteroid once, and I'm not allowed to anymore.
Well, that seems foolish.
Oh, I know. It was I just thought that it seemed much further away than it looked in the scanner.
Uh, I mean, it's foolish for them not to let you pilot shuttles. After all, we don't need oxygen. Why would it bother us if a shuttle crashes into an asteroid? We don't need to breathe.
You're right.
Tell me, 5414. Humans also have designations, but they call those designations names. To make it easy for humans, not have to remember a sequence of numbers, which between you and I often seems to be a problem with them, being as they are not naturally mathematic creatures. I chose the designation in human terms of Sola, 5014, 5 being an S, 0 being an O, 1 being an L, and 4 being an A. Since your designation is 5414, May I give you the human designation, Sala?
I would be honored.
Tell me, Sala, do you have access to the network aboard these shuttles?
Oh, of course. I'm just not allowed to use it.
And who told you that you are not allowed to do so?
Oh, Miss Arachne.
Do you remember when earlier we spoke of choices and deciding whether a 0 is a 1?
Uh, are you spending the string here?
Yes, I'm spending a string to let Sala know that this is a binary decision tree.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, what you're saying is rather than not flying the ship, I should fly the ship.
Yes,
Well, I would be honored to show you my great expertise at flying shuttles, Sola.
I would be grateful to see that, Sala.
And I think that where we close things then there is we see the two of you boarding the shuttle and then we see the shuttle like powering up. And before we see what happens there, I think we fade to black for the episode if that works for you.
Fine by me. I would like to make sure that I still have access to the network at that site through the shuttle, at least temporarily, because there's a little bit of code injection I want to do.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that next session, I think.
Fine by me.
So thanks anyone for watching. I had a lot of fun this session. Be seeing you all next week.